I'm Rob with Switchback Electric Bikes, and welcome to another episode of Shop Talk. Here we have one of my own personal bikes that I use for R&D. And let me tell you, this bike has a lot of R&D on it. So let's go through the bike and I'll explain some of the parts that are on it. Okay, first you can see by the rear end, it has the new SRAM Access wireless drivetrain, which is super fun and has a super wide gear ratio. We're using i9 hubs, and also we're running Hope brakes front and rear. I'm running 203s on the back and 220 on the front. And let's see here, I'm running Maxxis tires front and rear. This bike is actually a mullet frame, which means it has a smaller rear tire than front. The rear is a 27.5 by 2.6. The front is a 29 by 3-inch tire. I like a little wider tire. It helps me get over the loose stuff a little easier. The motor is a new motor we've been using now on a few of our builds and experimenting with. It's a CYC Gen 4 Pro. It's capable up to 5,000 watts. And right now we're running a 52 volt battery, 18 amp hours with another one of our custom battery bags. We're running BC and 10 front forks, which are inverted and super plush. i9 hubs on the front. We're using a little different rim configuration on this one. I'm using a Spank foam core rim on the front, Vibra-Core on the front, and I'm using a WTC or WTB on the back. I like that one because it's an e-bike specific rim, which gives me a little extra strength when I'm jumping. Also, I have extra short cranks on this bike. Obviously, the reason I'm running, these are 140 cranks, the reason I'm running 140s as opposed to bigger 165 is that this motor is capable of so much power. You don't need longer cranks, and it prevents pedal strikes on the trail. So that works out well. The bars are Envy carbon fiber bars, which, as everyone knows, you can't really get any much better than that. Grips, again, I'm using ODI. I have the throttle set up on the left hand on this bike because that's how we set up mountain bikes. Throttle always on the left hand on a mountain bike because your right hand's going to be doing the shifting. You only want to be doing two things with each hand. I never run dropper posts because I just don't need them. I don't need to be going up and down, but I do run on this bike an Anomaly adjustable seat angle for when you're climbing or descending. These are great. I've just started using them. So far, so good. I also use outbound lighting on all my bikes. I do a lot of night riding for a few reasons. One, no one can see me out there testing, and I could go as fast as I like. And these lights are great. They provide more than enough light. That's all I use on all my bikes. And the pedals are 1UP components, which only pedals I use. I like the wide platform pedal. It seems to really give me extra stability when I'm out on the trail. Oh, and obviously the biggest part of this bike, the frame. It's a Vitus Sommet frame, which is, like we said earlier, is a 297, which means it runs a 29 wheel in the front and a 27 in the back. The reason I'd like to ride a mullet setup on this particular bike, with a smaller wheel, it's easier for the motor to turn it, so therefore more speed. Just like on your dirt bike, when you see someone riding a dirt bike, the reason they have a front wheel, bigger front wheel than back wheel is it's easier for the motor to spin the back wheel. So yeah, had to use some motorcycle tech in this bike too. Anyways, I'm Rob from Switchback Electric Bikes. Hope you like the build.